Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers, and I'm going to show you how to reset your manipulator tool. Okay, what if it disappears? Now mine is showing, that's what it's supposed to look like. But let's say that I hit the W key or the E key or the R key and that move manipulator or rotate or scale manipulator does not show up on the object. Well, you can change that or you can try to reset it. Okay, so I'll show you a couple ways. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to reset those. So resetting the manipulator tool for the moves, rotate, and scale object. You double click on the icon. Okay, do a quick double click, and this comes up, and you got right at the top move tool, and you can reset the tool. Okay, a lot of times I'll take you through and I'll show you how to make some changes in here, and some of you may forget to change it back. So you may find yourself in at a predicament where you can't get your manipulator to show up. Okay, so you can just reset your tool. Okay, now if that doesn't work, again, this is for the move tool. You can double click on this, and we have different settings for this manipulator tool. Just reset that one. A lot of times I'll just reset these because I want to make sure everything's cleared out from the last time I was using it anyway. So that's probably a good thing to do. If it doesn't show up still, there's another real quick way to try to fix something. Whenever you see something wrong with your scene, something's not quite working right, it could be a tool that you use. You could hold down the shift key and the right mouse button and do the insert loop tool. And if that's not working correctly, like it should, okay. Now to use the insert tool, it's pretty easy. Just going to click on an edge here. But and if it doesn't show up around, then it's not working properly, okay. So what you can do, I'm going to go ahead and go back. Go to selection. I'm right mouse button and go into select. I'm going to hit the Q key to kind of get into selection mode. Okay. Another thing that can happen is that, again, the tools might not show up. You may start missing things in here. This means that Maya is getting, the scene is getting corrupted or it's starting to get corrupt. So what you want to do is you want to save your scene. Okay. Make sure you set your project or create a new project, okay, properly. All right. So to create a new project properly, to make sure it's going into a place where you know it's going, go to project window and click on new and make sure you're going into your documents, Maya projects, okay. And you can just name this something like, always put your name on it, okay, your first initial, last name, and then something like whatever module you're on. Okay, you could even put like something like, since this the class. Okay, do not put spaces. If you put spaces, it won't pull up properly. You have to do underscores if you want a space. A lot of people don't put spaces in at all. Okay, you can do an underscore. It'll see that, and then just put mod01. Okay. So I'm going to click accept. So now I know it's going to go to that particular spot on the default or the documents folder. And then I can go to file. Whenever I open it up on a different computer or pull the file over, I can go to file and then I can go to set project. And then I can just go find my new project that I just created. And there it is. Okay. Right. So, and you can set it. But what I'm going to have you guys do now is go into selection mode, and I want you to delete all the history on this object. So you're going to go into poly modeling, and we've got delete by type history here. You can also find it in edit, delete by type history. There we go. Okay. And then freeze transformations. Basically, everything has a transform on it. So if you go in here, you can see it's transformed. I've moved it and scaled it and all that stuff. So delete by type history and then freeze transformations. Okay. All right. Those two. All right. That kind of clears your model up. Okay. All right. So if you run into a problem where you it doesn't want to go back. It keeps doing this. You click off. Go up here under the main menu and click on this, and that's your select by object type. Okay, and then you can right click on it, go to selection mode, and then when you click back on and off, it'll go back into object mode. Okay. All right, so now we can go to File. Here's the little trick I was going to tell you about. File and Save As. Okay, and you're going to save it whatever you want. I'm just going to put J Byers. Let's just say low poly. There we go. Save it out. And then go to File, New. Okay, now, what you're doing with File New is that it's creating an entirely new scene. Okay? Right? And so what we want to do is we want to import that object we saved in the other scene and see if that will work. So I'm going to go File, Import, and click on the option box. Okay? All right? And then click on Import. And then you can find it should go right to, if you set your project right, it should go right to your scenes folder and you should see it. Click on it and import. There we go. Now, if you hit the W key and you see your manipulator, then everything is good. And if you go in here, and if I hold the Shift key and right mouse button, go into Insert Edge Loop Tool, I'll go in here and start Insert Edge Loops Tools, and it's working properly. Now again, an Insert Edge Loop Tool will not work on a top because it's triangulated. It won't work on anything triangulated. That's one of the things you guys got to remember, that an edge loop will not work with triangles. Okay, it will only work with quads. Okay, so the can on the sides is all quadrangle. The can on the top is triangulated. Okay, all right. So you can't add an edge loop up here. All right. Okay. So to add an edge loop, you kind of fake it. So you just kind of go in here, and I'm going to use the brush, this little guy right here. And you can hold the B key down as Bob, B as in Bob, and you can scale it down with your left mouse button. So hold down the B key as in Bob, and you can scale that up and down by using your left mouse button and dragging it. There we go. And so now I can select all this, okay? And then make sure I don't have anything selected anywhere else. And what I can do is I can hit the Q key that gets you back in selection mode, and then go Control E, okay? And I'm just going to hit the R key. And in the middle, you see that little square, the little blue square? Click on it with your left mouse button and just scale it in. And that's how you get your edge loop on top. And I can do the same thing. I can continue doing that, Control E, and hit the R key and scale it again. So you can get, you can't actually insert edge loop on the top, okay, because of triangles. It won't do that. It's got to have quadrangles for edge loop to work. That's why quadrangles are so important. And we can't really do anything about the triangles. I could go in there and delete some of these to make it a quadrangle, but we're not going to do that right now. Anyway, so that's basically how you can get your tools to work again. And if not, there's other ways. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to totally restart Maya and then import your object in and see if we can get that. Now, once your scene gets totally corrupted, there's nothing anybody can do. So that's why you save your work every 10 to 15 minutes. And you want to use the file save scene as to protect yourself. Okay? So protect yourself at all times and save scene as. Okay, and rename it something like, instead of renaming it the same thing, I would put something like in a sequence, which means I would go in here and do _01. That way, and then 02, 03, 04. That way I can go back and open up a scene that actually works. That way you don't lose too much time. Okay? Anyway, that's it. And hopefully this helps and fixes your issue. And I'll see you soon.